Very good afternoon, friend. This is Commander Sudhir Kumar at my YouTube channel, Pulse of India. My dear friends, I am going to talk on a most relevant topic today, which is being discussed during debates not only at TV channels in India, but the world over and at international forum. That is 8 years of governance in India. If I rate, it had been simply transformational. 8 years of governance in India. How I rate it transformational, I am going to put across my points for your views, and that I start. If you look at, what was the situation before 2014 when Narendra Modi took over as a Prime Minister of India, you all know, but we have very short memory. So, for your benefit, I am going to repeat that it was a period from 2004 to 2014 where corruption was coming out every 6 months in India in every department of central government, and huge amount of corruption. Every sector of an industry, every ministry was hit by such rampant corruptions. So the ill governance for near about 55 to 60 years during a regime which took over 1947, that they did a lot but could not do as per the expectation of Indians. So India could not reach where India would have been after independence, and that was already in the backup of mind of all Indians, not only in India but the world over. Especially the Indians, those who were doing so good abroad, they were feeling ideally very dull or very, having low confidence because they were feeling that India is not able to do well and their own country is sunk in corruptions and ill governance. So that was the reason. And before pre independence itself, the 800 years of invaders invading India and, looting India wealth, taking away, breaking the social structure, social fabric of India. And then the biggest assault was by the British, that they destroyed the entire education fabric and the social structure of India and took assets worth over near about US dollars 45 billion, which has come in one of the study published by the Cambridge, which is available for your consumption on Google. Now, coming to when Narendra Modi took over, so this was the situation that overall confidence of every Indian in India and abroad was very at a lowest level. He was having the task that how to take it up, and the kind of the way he started off, the way he has performed with his ministry, and the way he has taken frequent visits in foreign countries within first 2 years of his taking over as a prime minister, he was able to solve maximum bilateral relations, then improve the confidence of Indians abroad, and today it is the 8 years of governance in India where no corruption has come to notice in 8 years, and with that, the confidence level of India has gone up, and so is the confidence of Indians abroad in all countries. The respect of India has gone up, and Narendra Modi ji accepted that he is the Pradhan Sevak of the country, and this respect, which is the world is showering on India today, it is not only due to his governance, but it is due to the confidence of 1.34 billion Indians, and they deserve this kind of an respect. And these sustained efforts have brought a transformational change towards India and Indians. And that's what is the reason that Modi ji has been the most popular leader from last 3 years consequently, with the highest rating, that is 70% among other leaders, global leaders, the world over. So this is the first aspect. I'll touch upon why I call it that these 8 years had been transformational as far as governance is concerned. That is first. The second is that the way he started inclusive development. Inclusive development, I can call it that the ensuring the universal basic pay to each and every, especially at the last mile. And there, why I am calling about, though it has not been announced, the universal basic pay which has been given to the people, but he has ensured the inclusive development. You see that near about 440 million people, those who are at the lower level, the poor and the extremely poor, they were brought into the banking system. And in that banking system where their bank accounts were opened, today near about 1 lakh 60,000 crore rupees has been deposited in these banks. Secondly, the India was not moving towards defecation free, and India was not having toilets, especially the poor, and the ladies were going outside. He constructed near about 10.5 crores, near about 115 million toilets uh, in India, especially for the poor, giving assistance. So that is the another reason I say inclusive development. And then he launched Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, and that became a grand success today. Everyone knows about it. The people today are taking pride. The cities are fighting among each other that we must be declared the best city as far as Swachhta is concerned. You see Indore. Indore from last 5 years is coming at first place. The second place is Surat. Surat is coming at second. But every year Surat people feel, their municipality and people of Surat, that we must beat Indore. But in Indore, people, right from the elected representative over there, municipality over there, and people at large, today the society feel, they take pride that we must make our society the best in the cleanship. Same way the city are feeling. So this is another, the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan is such a big success towards inclusive development. And not only that, the Ujjwala program which was started side by side, and near about 12 crore people, 120 120 million people have been given free gas connections. These poor, earlier they were having uh, the conventional fuel, they were using either the cow dung, or they were using uh, other source of like kerosene and other things for making food. And so this inclusive development, connecting people with the banking systems, then constructing toilets for them, then providing free gas, then electricity. Before Modi ji took over, near about 18,500 villages were not having electricity. So they were connected to the electricity. The electricity coverage was increased. The electricity to the villages was made for near about 20 to 22 hours out of 24 hours, and in many part 24 hours. And then India became electricity plus country. So to the industry and agriculture, the electricity was given, and electricity reached to each village. So I call this inclusive development, where with these kind of an performances, the kind of an governance system which was there, the poor also could come to the mainstream, and India became the only country where India lifted the poor to the upper level of to the lower middle income group. Near about 280 million people were taken to the up ladder with this. And not only this, even the housing for all, by August 2022, this program is undergoing, and near about 6 million houses have been handed over, and near about 200 million houses are under construction. So this is also a massive program where subsidies are given, the government help is being given to the poor and extremely poor, so that they are having their house on very good quality house, and there the free gas is there, electricity is there. In electricity also they are using LED bulb, and when they are having this, then the toilet is there. So all these inclusive development, and side by side the job creation in villages have been created by virtue of not only allocating Manrega. Manrega is ensuring minimum employment to the each youth in villages as well as urban areas where people are not having any job, they get connected to the Manrega. And now due to the pandemic, in last 2 years, the India is the only country which was supporting for near about 800 million people with the free ration. Why it was given? Just to hold the hands, the people, those who were losing their jobs, the migrant laborers, those who were going to their villages, and due to the effect of pandemic, they were not able to come to their jobs. So if they got stuck up in the village, then one nation, one ration card was issued to them, and the rations have been distributed from last 2 years. The free ration to near about 800 million people. So this was the program, this was the governance at transformational level. India is the only country which came out with its own vaccine. The entire population given vaccine, then the second dose of vaccine, and then booster, and even the second booster, and then covering the youth from 8 years to 14 years, and then above are already covered. So this vaccine program also, where every poor and extremely poor has been assured that they have been taken care by giving them the vaccine dose against COVID-19. So this resolve, this fight, and again is transformational. Now I'll touch upon few other points. You will see my flow that I am not referring any text, I am not referring any book, I am not looking at teleprinter or anything. I am talking continuously on this because every Indian has seen it. We have experienced it, how this transformational change of governance has taken place under the Modi leadership. You will see now that when corruption was there, black money was there, a lot of political parties had restored, and then the terrorist activities were taking place in Jammu and Kashmir, Naxalite activities were taking place at the Burma border and in some of the Naxalite states in India. Everywhere this black money was there. Neighboring countries were printing Indian rupees and they were pumped in back to India, and these fake notes were at a very high level. Then he brought demonetization. Many people talk about that demonetization was not success, but I'll say at that particular point it was an historic and it was a very bold decision, and a prime minister within a short span of time taking over as a prime minister of India, such a large country, and then introducing such kind of a demonetization, it was mind blowing. It was very, very bold decision, and it had changed the demographics. It had changed the entire India look towards that confidence level. Yes, we can shun out the black money out of our system and restore the liquidity to the banks. And in that aim, at that particular time, he was most successful in doing that. Though, definitely, when this kind of very big decisions are taken, certainly some people were at disadvantage. Some people could not be served, and they had some problems for the few days to get money out of the ATMs. Long queues were there towards bank. But this is all part of when we are moving from the ill governance to the transformational governance. So this kind of an steps are always taken. With that, immediately then the GST was there, and today just see that GST is the most successful program which is bringing that lot of money in hand, and the tax structure has taken place. Direct taxes, indirect taxes have increased uh, due to this governance, and with that, the government is having more money to spend for the infrastructural development. So GST is again a very transformational initiative and a very successful initiative. Now I'll touch upon Make in India. Make in India initially it was going on slowly, but now the kind of an PLI scheme which has been given, production linked incentive scheme which has been announced, and then near about 14 billion incentive has been given to the semiconductor industry. So these PLI and this incentive which has been announced for the semiconductor industry, you will see the India is not only involved in defense manufacturing, not only developing the indigenous guided missiles very successfully. India has produced, India has manufactured, constructed a uh, aircraft carrier. The Cochin shipyard has done, and then India is making nuclear submarine. On the other side, the stealth frigates, cruiser, destroyers is also being made by the shipyards of India, and the projects of even the P-15 Scorpion submarine, which was running slow, now it is running very fast. So in defense manufacturing also, a huge impact has been brought this governance, and now every project is running at a speed. With this, now I will touch upon, if, if you look at in Kashmir, the abrogation of 370 and then repealing 370 and then scrapping 35A was a huge step, and it is the first time the moment the government took this bold decision that Kashmir was in a real sense brought as an integral part of India. Now the Kashmir, Jammu and Kashmir is in par with other states of India, and lot of investment, private investment is coming into Kashmir. The tourism of Jammu and Kashmir has regained, and it was the lost confidence of people in Jammu and Kashmir has regained. Their tourism is again flourishing, and so is the investment pouring in over there. And I am sure you will see that Jammu and Kashmir is again regaining its past glory. It is very true that if anywhere the Swarg is there, heaven is there on earth, it is in Jammu and Kashmir. So that will be true. So it was a very bold decision. Now, my dear friends, you will see that talaq, triple talaq act which was passed. And now it is not only for the Muslim women. The empowerment was given to the women of India. And now entire population of Muslim women is feeling so good that they are out from the decision of this talaq, 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 triple talaq. And this was a decision that it had changed the entire demography of towards the women empowerment. My dear friends, let me tell you one thing. The way India has increased the population of women with these governance, now women percentage of population among men has increased manifolds. The same way the education and the participation of women not only in election but in educational institutions, in government, in private sector is increased hugely. So this is the biggest impact of this 8 years of governance, the empowerment of women, the empowerment of the girl child, the help towards the girl child which has been given, it is transforming India. You will see this impact has been seen on the sports of India. Today, India is doing so well at each level, at the global level. It is tremendous, it is transformational that Indian youth is so excited that they want to be the part of the best in the world. And this has come because today India is proud of its leadership. India is proud of its efforts. India is proud of its efforts that we are running a country with the efforts of 1.34 billion people, honest governance, candid governance. The vision is there in governance, and then we would like to reach there. Today is the 75th year celebration of India independence, which is called Amrit Mahotsav, and that's where every Indian is taking pride in celebrating it. Every state is running against each other in improving each of doing business. UP used to stand at level 14 among Indian states before Yogi ji took over, and in last 5.5 years, today the UP stand at the second place in each of doing business. What a transformational change! The double engine sarkar which is making in UP, it is amazing. You will see the kind of an investment which is pouring in UP. We have got the defense corridor today, and another defense corridor is there in Tamil Nadu. Today, UP, Uttar Pradesh is making BrahMos missile, which is being exported to Philippines. Just see what a transformational change. In earlier regime of Samajwadi Party, UP used to be famous that in Rampur, Ajamgarh and some places they used to make country-made pistols, kattas. And today the UP is making BrahMos missile. What amazing change. That is the effect of transformational governance of India in last 8 years under the most dynamic and bold and decisive leadership of Narendra Modi and its Council of Ministers and the entire ecosystem which has been created by his party in all the states wherever they are in power, but encouraging even the other those are in power in some of the states. The federal structure has been strengthened. The kind of distribution of GST collection has been done to the states. It is improving. Now see, now I will touch upon a very important point. I have touched already, the defense manufacturing, which is seen a huge impact, which is going to come up like anything. Now on the other side, you see the roads, highways. I think Nitin Gadkari ji has done a tremendous amount of work, whether it is the sea routes or waterways, transforming ports or making highways. He has already made number of records in Guinness Book of Records, world records, making construction of roads in a day, which has become near about 4 times more than 40 kilometer a day, then making the longest highway, 4-lane highway within 24 hours. So many records he has broken, and he has got a charter of near about 1,47,000 highways he is making. This year he is again breaking records, and he has taken already an oath. I think he gets inspired. One of the American presidents said that the America is today advanced because America has got the best road. The same way he is thinking that if India is provided with the best roads, we will be able to bring down our logistic expenditures. Today, if you look at in supply chain, the kind of an expenditure it is on the supply chain and logistics. India is spending, India's share is near about, it comes out to be near about 16%, where USA and European countries around 10%, and China has remarkably reduced it to 8%. Same way, India is making efforts, bringing new airports, international airports. The ports have been upgraded, and then these waterways have been introduced. And with this, the road connections, the highways, green highways, those are being undertaken, by which the only aim is in front of India, that India is going to bring its logistic cost, supply chain cost to 10%, in par with the US and in par with the European countries. And I am sure if India achieves that, that will certainly boost the GDP of India and the actual progress. On the other side, now I am going to talk about as when defense manufacturing is taking place, the PLI is supporting the manufacturing in each and every sector, and dedicated 14 billion US dollars which has been given to the semiconductor industry. It is going to boost the manufacturing of the chips design and chips production in India. And on the other side, now I am going to touch upon the green energy initiative of India. You will see electric vehicles in India already. In two wheelers, India has already become global leader. And when India has become global leader in car manufacturing also, and we are going to triple the automobile manufacturing, the electrical vehicles in India in next 3 to 4 years. That's what is an aim, that we must take over the number one position the world over, the way we have taken over in steel production, the way we have in milk production, and now we are the second place for the startup. And when I talk about the startup, again, it is the most happening, it is the most amazing, it is the most transformational story which India has written, especially in pandemic period. Now India leadership, the Indian people knows how to take advantage of a diversity. You will see that when you are hit by pandemic and the people were sitting in the house, India is the only country where Indians businessmen has retained their 90 to 95% their assets. Nowhere in the world, even the businessman in US has lost their assets. Their share market has gone down, but the Indian wealth creators has not lost. And side by side, India has brought a startup which is more than near about 65 to 70,000 today, and we have got an ecosystem which is at second place. And my dear friends, I take pleasure in announcing that today India stands at 100 unicorns. You know what is the one unicorn? One unicorn is $1 billion. $1 billion is how much? 7,500 to 8,000 crores today. So this is the kind of an ecosystem for a startup India is able to create. Why we are able to create? Because today every state is, having a competition among each other, that how we can bring down the age of doing business, how we can increase the age of living for the Indian people. That's what is governance is dedicated. Now I'll again touch upon today India is a water stressed country. India is having 16% population of the world, but we are having only 4% water. It is due to because our maximum water 80 to 85% is going for agriculture crop, and we have seen that India is at present having a crop pattern which is utilizing the groundwater. So Jal Shakti Mission is a very ambitious program of Prime Minister initiative, as was the Swachh Bharat or Make in India or Made in India, and then the same way Jal Shakti, where the maximum villages are going to be connected with water. At least each house will have one tap, sorry, where they are going to have potable water. This potable water will change the entire complexion of. Secondly, now there are many programs are being run to store, to increase or to bring up the water level at different places of India, and in each district some ponds are going to be created, and these ponds will retain water over there for irrigation, for the other thing. The farmers are utilizing the drip irrigation and the other irrigation program, so that now India is going towards that India is going to solve this water stress in shortly, in another 3 to 4 years of time, and going to control this water stress. On coming to the renewable energy in the green revolution, as Prime Minister announced ISA, the world over, all countries, they become part of it, and now India is having an initiative where India is going to have near about 475 gigawatt of renewable energy, and India has already achieved what India was supposed to achieve by 2030, is already achieved in 2021. So that's the way India is progressing, and India is showing the torch to the entire, or taking over a center stage as a global leader in green energy. Today, India has achieved 10% blending of ethanol into petrol, and that is a huge step. It is not only going to save near about 45,000 to 48,000 crore of rupees annually on their fossil fuel imports, but it is going to save, it is going to enhance the income of farmers in India by near about 40,000 crores. All these changes, like the introduction of biofuel, the introduction of electrical vehicles, the electrical buses, those are there, improving the railway infrastructure, and this railway infrastructure, railway corridors, and now going for the green energy initiative, that 475 gigawatt of renewable energy. On the other side, going for double the speed of the nuclear energy production. We are having on one side with the EPF of France constructing the biggest nuclear power station or power production units at one place in Jaipur, and same way with Russian collaboration, we are we are having the ongoing program of making reactors, and 10 another uh, heavy water pressurized at PWHR, pressurized heavy water reactors we are going to make under indigenous program. So with that, the nuclear, wind energy and solar energy, remarkably, we are having a solar energy target. So this mixed band of energy on one side, like solar, wind and nuclear, along with then biofuel, ethanol, methanol, and then CNG, LNG, bio CNG, biofuels, all these are making huge difference. And now this scrapping of old vehicles is going to reduce the air pollution as well as noise pollution, and it is going to enhance, it is going to support the circular economy. So these are the transformational changes in governance which India has brought in these 8 years, and has got a now ambitious plan towards this Amrit Kal. Amrit Kal starts from 75 years of independence to 100 years of independence. The India is going to be 100 years of its independence, going to celebrate in 2047. So let's see where India has reached. I am talk about all these initiatives, that how it makes that India is having an era of transformational governance from last 8 years is going to continue. As you see that it is not only Narendra Modi was selected or chosen by the people of India by a very decisive majority in 2014, but again repeated in 2019. And I am sure the kind of work which has already been done, which is going to be done, I am sure that even in 2014, I am sure the Indian people is going to elect him. And the leadership, the other in states also, he has brought that competitiveness, and the same way is Indian industry. Industry is playing a very huge role in increasing capacities various areas, especially the contribution now is towards in pharmaceutical. In pharmaceutical industry, India not only produced the indigenous vaccines, but India was able to supply the drugs, those were needed the world over to support the handoff, so that India is able to project, not only project, but to prove that we are a reliable trade partner. India is the only country which believes in peace, and we never invades any other countries, and that had been the hallmark of our civilization. And this civilization, which is thousand years of old, is the same today, that we want peace and we want the progress of the entire humanity. Vasudev Kutumbakam. Entire universe is one family, entire planet is one family. That is our thought process. Especially why we are increasing our defense capabilities, that only to have a balance in the changing world order, and we also adopting the technology. Now, if you see in IT, India, the way the digital transactions, near about 46 billion, which has taken place in India in last 1 year, it is not only higher than USA, it is higher than even China. The kind of an internet penetration which is there in Indian villages today, India has shown that to the entire world. It is not only in the urban areas, but every rural family, every rural person who is staying in rural areas of India can, embrace the technology, can use the technology. And today, this computer support systems centers, those are being opened into the villages. All digital transactions are taking place at a huge level. That 46 billion financial transactions have taken place last 1 year, but almost all the services of the government and the state governments are now being provided online. We could see even during pandemic time what a small transformation was there. The entire education system of India was online for near about 2 years, and it is a very structured platform which has been created by India, so that the education of children are not affected, students not affected, and the teachers have taken over the technology adoption, the institutions have taken over the technology adoption. Now, if you see the DRDO, Defense Research and Development Organization, not only in missiles, but the other defense products, the way the Ordnance Factory Board, which has been transformed into independent entities, the way they are supporting the defense forces, the kind of an industries which is coming in the defense manufacturing, I am sure India has already started exporting, but it will become surplus, and shortly the India will be the hub for the defense manufacturing in each part, whether it's aviation, electronics, mobile manufacturing. We have already, set up near about 220 factories, but in other high end of electronics and the chips manufacturing where we lack today, to support our defense manufacturing, especially in control and guidance system, that also we are going to. Now I'll touch upon ISRO. Indian Space Research Organization is doing amazing job, and shortly the Gaganyaan is going to be sent, where the Indian manned mission is going to be there, and that's where we are going to stand in par with the first three power. Those are having that kind of a technology: US, China, and Russia. And the same way, the satellite killer technology also we are having. So we are advancing in technology adoption, but even in technology production, innovation, research and development, and then having a pursuit towards improving every walk of life. The way we have improved our ranking in ease of doing business today, the same way we are having an emphasis towards how to improve the ease of living. 100 Smart City project has been a phenomenal success in India. The centralized command control systems have become a hub where the IT services are being provided to the citizen or to the each person in a particular city. So this is a big jump India is taking. Now I have touched upon the entire thing. Let's see into technology. If you see artificial intelligence, machine learning, then coming to the quantum computing, then 3D printing, and other associated technology like robotics, UAVs, all these in robotics, UAVs, drones, India has already taken a leap. It has taken gained strides towards manufacturing and towards use. Now, today's farmer of India are using drones for their chemical spray to create digital records of their holdings, and then the crop insurance decisions. So this is the way judicial system is going on digital platform. So this digital transformation is most amazing, and today it's not only the digital transforming, now coming to this defense manufacturing, and now shortly going to be the semiconductor manufacturing, chips design and production, and then the introduction of NEP, new education policy 20, which is being implemented across nation. And then the biggest thing is that India is spending today the maximum amount in infrastructure. That is resilient infrastructure creation, where India is pumping near about 100 lakh crore. 100 lakh crore means it is near about 1.5 trillion US dollars, and that is the kind of money which India is spending in infrastructure creation. And like I say, same way the Prime Minister has echoed CRDI at the world level. When we are going to have this credible, resilient infrastructure, that will bring sustainability. And when we bring sustainability in the governance of country, the same way it contributes towards the sustainability of universe, it is going to handle climate change. And I have already discussed the initiative of ISA, the pledge of 475 gigawatt towards renewable energy, the huge boost to the nuclear energy, and having this mixed band of energy blended with the biofuels, LNG, CNG, bio CNG, ethanol mixture which is taking place, ethanol blending with the petrol. So these are the initiatives, and the kind of different new technologies are being used in each and every field is not going to increase the confidence level, but it is the optimal utilization of resources, optimal utilization of technology, and that's where all the changes, transformational changes, have been brought in last 8 years. My dear friends, before I end my lecture, before I end my talk, this just think of it. If the same kind of a governance in India was there after 1947, after our independence, till now, where we could have been? Were we lacking in our intelligence? Were we lacking that Indians passing out from India were doing excellent job the world over? Where today the world is proud. Today you see in Silicon Valley, the biggest IT organizations are headed by Indians. They are the CEOs and the chairmen and managing directors of these companies. Why? Because we are hardworking, we are intelligent, we are having a pursuit towards innovation. Only thing it was lacking, that we were not able to have a good governance in India. And that not only the good governance, the transformational governance has been brought by Modi ji. It is indeed a there, which could be seen in all spheres of India. And that's where today the global confidence in India is increased to that level that shortly in G7 meeting which is going to take place, I think the countries are going to pledge that what assistance we can give to India so that India proceed to achieve its goal of this 475 renewable energy faster than what he is envisaging. The kind of an FDI is flowing in India, that itself shows that how much the entire big businesses, global big businesses, and the countries are having in India. The investment which is coming in, it has gone more than 600 billion US dollars. And my dear friend, I'm just telling you today, I'm declaring the way 100 unicorns have come, our FDI levels once upon a time reached to near about 640, 644 billion US dollars. I'm sure by near about 2024 financial year, I'm sure our FDI will go to 1 trillion US dollars. Our export has touched near about 400 US billion dollars. It is going to again going to touch upon near about 1 trillion US dollars. So that's where I am speaking, and that's where I wrote my book. One was India Transforming, where I wrote about leadership in 2017, and then I wrote another book which was India 20 trillion economy by 2035 to 40, and in that book I has shown that how we are going to become a 20 trillion economy by 2035-40. But before that, the Prime Minister is having that 5 trillion. I also wrote in my book that definitely India will have that 5 trillion economy by 2024 and 10 trillion by 2030. These are the projections. And today I will not hesitate to declare that and vouch for it, my dear Indians. The way we are going towards the transformational changes, the way we are having a vision how to reach in 2047, 100 years of independence of India, the way we are having a strategic planning, the way we are channelizing our resources, the way the government of India has made Gati Shakti, where all the projects progress is going to be monitored, I am sure that we must be competing as number one global economy by 2047. Please keep doing the good work wherever you are. You are contributing in progress of India, in India or elsewhere, and I am sure if this kind of a governance continues, rather now time has come, we have to take little longer strides. We have to cut down the time in implementation, improve our technology adoption in each sphere of life, and put maximum emphasis on health, on education, and on research and development. Now, coming to the health, I forgot to mention that it is the one point, the health insurance scheme, the Ayushman Bharat, had been the most successful. The maximum people, maximum poor and extremely poor, have been covered by this insurance of 5 lakh rupees, and they have taken the advantage. And side by side, the entrepreneurship at the poor and extremely poor level has been supported by Mudra scheme, which I have not mentioned so far, and the Kisan Nidhi scheme for the Kisan, and subsidies on the Kisan, the urea and other khad which is being given to the farmer, manures which is being given. So these all things make India today that we are moving in right direction of inclusive development. We are ensuring income at last mile, and we are improving the standard at last mile and improving that eradication of poverty at extremely poor and poor level, and then addressing the middle income group, taking care of the big businesses, and then creating unicorns. So this is the time period the most crucial for India. I am sure this century belongs to India. This century belongs to not only India, to the governance, the kind of an governance we have provided in 8 years, it is going to steer ahead that we must compete with ourselves and we must put our best efforts so that we are running to the number one position to be number one global economy and a nation which is having the best living index criteria everywhere, removing the hunger, poverty, malnutrition, education improvement, health improvement, and well being of people by our efforts. I am sure we will. Jai Hind, Vande Mataram.